Right, so one of the first things you want to do is, if you're not working with a new machine, you want to clean your machine really well and start removing your factory decals. A lot of guys use SC1 or the Team MSC cleaner. A lot of that stuff is oil-based, so you just want to get a microfiber or paper towel, rags, damp it with some alcohol, and just clean all your plastics up really good. You can do that before or after removing the graphics, but the main thing is to ensure you have a really clean machine. Removing the factory decals is fairly easy. CFMOTO, a lot of factory decals rip and tear real easy. Their vinyl's actually not that bad to remove. When you remove the factory decals, you want to pull almost at a 90-degree angle, and this will leave very, very little to no glue lines, and you want to try to pull as steady as possible. Get a damp microfiber rag and just get the plastics nice and clean. If there is any residue or glue, you want to make sure you get all of that off before installing the wrap to make sure you're working with a really clean, smooth surface. So some of the tools you'll need for doing your Team MSC Graphic Kit install is a knife. We include a squeegee with all graphic kits that get mailed out for Team MSC. We also include a plastic scraper to help scrape the factory decals off. If your machine's a little bit older or if they've been baked on there, this is a new machine, so we really don't need it. They come off real great. It would also help to have a heat gun or a hair dryer, or if you feel comfortable, you can use a torch just to help if the graphics come into a bind, or if you have a little finger in the graphics or something like that, you can heat it up. It makes it softer and it'll apply much easier. Those will be all the necessities to install your Team MSC Graphics Kit. If you're installing your own graphics kit, the main thing, the most important tip I can give you guys is to have patience and to plan ahead to spend a few hours on it. The easiest thing to do is take a pair of scissors and cut your individual pieces off the roll of graphics that you come, and just cut real close to the print. Be careful not to cut the print, and just trim out the print, real close. That way you can place it up on the machine and get it in the position that you want it to and tape it down before applying the graphic and just ripping it off. Now, another method to this is you can just take the graphic. If you know where it goes, you can just take the graphic, peel the whole decal off, and start placing it where you want it to go. For us, though, we're going to place it where we want it, get it aligned up where we want it, tape it down, and then start applying the graphic. So I took the first piece that we just cut out, trimmed the paper off, as close as possible to the decal, and we taped it in place. So what you want to do is use some blue tape, painter's tape, paper tape, just some kind of easy lift, no adhesive left behind tape, and just peel your graphic, just a small section of it to get it started. We'll peel it. This stuff is super thick and super sticky, so we'll pull our graphic back, use your scissors, trim the paper off. With the included squeegee, with the Team MSC Graphics Kit, you can start squeegeeing with the felt side and applying your graphics with nice, even, smooth pressure. And one thing I would like to point out in this video is that all Team MSC Graphics Kit can be customized. On this specific kit, we used a Apollo silver or a sparkle metallic laminate. Standard kits come with gloss, but there are other finishes available upon request or custom design options. So just keep that in mind when wanting your CFMOTO graphics. Just reach out to Main Street and they'll be glad to give you all the information. So once you get your first section applied, you can remove all your pieces of tape, fold the graphic over, and start peeling the backing paper up as you apply the graphic. You can hold it up with firm pressure, keeping it lifted off the machine, and use your included squeegee. The best method is to overlap your squeegee strokes while keeping nice even tension and removing the backing paper as you apply the graphic, keeping it lifted off the machine to minimize air bubbles and pockets, and then slowly remove the backing paper off the machine. Work the graphics into any recesses or body lines, and you are good to go. If you're on the more eager side to get your graphic kit on and you don't want to take the time to trim the scissors out, what you can do is just peel your graphic off the backing paper, with the adhesive side out. Do not use soap and water on the Team MSC Graphics Kits. This material is air release. What happens in the long run is water or soap will get trapped in the air channels. You'll never get the water out, and it will compromise the durability of your wrap. So if you want to go with the full adhesive side out, just pull the decal off the backing paper. And I recommend starting in the corners. So just line your graphic up, keeping it lifted off the machine the best as you can. Pivot the alignment to get it where you want it. You can always tack it down. Make sure the alignment's good where you want it. If everything's lining up how you'd like, take your squeegee and start applying the graphic with the felt side of the squeegee. Nice even pressure will do, and as you see, you'll start working yourself up into some bubbles. If you need to lift the material up, just snatch the material up and go back to reapplying. You may have a little bit of vinyl that hangs over. This is when your knife would come in handy. Just get a really sharp knife and just ride the edge of the plastic and do just a little bit of trimming if need be. Nothing crazy, just a little sliver. Follow it all the way down. You can always come back and heat it too, and we're about to go over the heat process of it, of heat setting all this vinyl in. This is on the nitpicky side of things. Not a must. You see, I took off maybe a 1/16 of vinyl. Nothing crazy. Just a little bit of where the template's not perfect, and that'll wrap up the wrap. After you get all your graphics applied, you can go over and make sure you don't have any bubbles. If you have bubbles around the edges, just push all the vinyl out toward the end. When applying your graphics too, I failed to mention earlier, it's always best to work from the middle out. So if you're working up, make your squeegee pass in the middle. Cut this off. So make your squeegee pass in the middle and then work all your vinyl out to the edges. But we have everything applied. Everything's looking good. We're going to take the heat gun now. This is a real crucial step to making your graphics last a long time and giving it a really good adhesion to the plastic. So just take a heat gun, get it nice and warm, and just heat up all the edges of your graphics. It's real important to heat up the edges, make sure they're stuck down real good. If they're not stuck down real good, you'll see a little bit of lifting. You can always go to the corners and make sure they're stuck down real good. Just give the edges a nice little heat. See how that lifted just a hair? You can take your finger, heat it up, hold it into the recess until it cools off, and it'll hold really, really nicely. Another thing that I'd like to bring up in the video is if you're applying black graphics like we did on this unit over here, the squeegee can will give you buffer marks on the graphic. You won't be able to see it on this because it has a metallic finish, but if you do get light scratches or buffer marks in your graphics, just take your heat gun, hit it all with some heat, and the laminate is self-healing and those scratches will go away. While you're heating the edges up of your graphics, you always want to make sure your heat gun is constantly moving. You don't want to heat one spot consistently for too long, as you take the risk of burning your graphics. I don't know if I don't have a sample piece around here, but if you hold it in one spot too long, the laminate will start bubbling. It'll get really hot. It can actually come to like almost a boil and ruin your graphics. So just want to keep your heat gun moving. You can always check with your hand too. If it's too hot for your hand, it's probably too hot for the vinyl. Just like that, guys, your graphics kit is installed. We've heated all the edges in. Heating the edges in is one of the most important parts to make sure dirt, trash, water, SC1 spray, no oily substance, any kind of chemicals gets behind the graphic. Once the graphic is bonded to the plastic, Blake has been here with me, and he has felt firsthand how sticky and strong this vinyl is. It's something serious.
Very durable, extremely sticky.
So, you know, it's not going to scratch easy. You know, if you tumble down the mountain, your plastics might break, and the graphic will probably hold them together for you. Once you have it all installed, you can pressure wash as normal. The main thing with pressure washing is not to blast the edges at the tips. You know, as long as you're pressure washing from a safe recommended distance, like any manufacturer would recommend you to pressure wash your seals, your bearings, anything like that from a good safe distance, you can pressure wash your kit. You can use cleaner on it as normal, degreaser as normal. Once you get your unit clean, if you want to wipe it down with SC1 or spray it down with the MSC cleaner, feel free to do so. It actually will help the graphic in the long run stay nice and shiny, nice and new. The most important thing is just to plan ahead and have patience. This is not something you're going to install in 30 minutes and hit the trails. You're not going to receive your Team MSC kit, take it to the park, install it, and you know, plan ahead. Is the best advice I give you guys. It took, on the 950s, I would plan roughly probably 3 or 4 hours per machine. If you're buying for an 800, 1000 or fuller, I'd probably plan 4 to 6. There's a lot more pieces. I believe there is 20 in the 950, but the 800 and 1000 fullers has like 102 pieces.
Yeah, it takes a while.
So there's a lot of pieces. This is a specialty. This is a custom design kit. I'm unsure if Blake and Main Street will want to offer this kit to the public. That'd be up to them. This might be one of their private MSC labels, but if you want something custom, contact MSC. We can do the metallic lamb, we can do a gold metallic lamb, we can print on holographic material, we can print on chrome material. The sky's the limit. The prices and the kits that you see on the Team MSC website or mainstreetcycle.com are ready-made kits that we have already designed, prepped files for. Therefore, we're able to keep the cost a little bit lower for the end consumer. If you want a custom kit, artwork fees and some design charges may apply, but contact Dylan at Main Street Cycle or Rob or anybody at Main Street Cycle, and they'll get you in the right direction to get me your information, and we'll take everything you provide them and get you fixed up with a graphics kit.
Well, man, we appreciate you, Christian, and super excited to show this one off as well as this one here. This is Ronnie Renner's. By now, you've already seen this machine if you keep up with the channel. So, yeah, we're going to get these out, rip them. I got my cage that's going on tomorrow. And if you want one of these graphics kits, we got them for more than just the 950 that you see here. We got the CFORCE 800, CFORCE 1000.
We've got the Gen 1 500, Gen 2 500s. We've got the UFORCE 1000, the Z950. Nothing on the Gen 2 950s yet. It'll probably be a few months on those as they're very new and newly released. We have the, like I said, the Gen 1, Gen 2 4 500, the 950, Gen 1, the UFORCE 1000, the 800 and 1000 Overland. I believe that's all of them that we have so far, which covers most of the units, except for the 600 utilities and smaller utility vehicles. But as Blake was saying, the sky's the limit. If you want lime squeeze green, or if you want hot pink, or if you want all of the above, we can print it for you.
That's right. That's right.
I'm sure you'll see, I don't know if Blake will put it in this video after he finishes the cage, but the cage going on this thing is going to be wild. So y'all stay tuned on that one. Yeah,
going to be awesome. So go down to the description of this video, and I'll have a link to get you to the graphics kits at mainstreetcycle.com. And be sure to check out mainstreetcycle.com for all of your CFMOTO needs. We appreciate the Big Print Company and appreciate Christian for making this happen and working with us. So God bless y'all. As always, remember to keep it real. We'll see you in the next one.